Hello, YouTube. I'm Vince White. I am an employment attorney and I'm here to tell you about a program we're running. I guess we've been running it for a couple of years now, in which we do free NDA review for victims of workplace discrimination and workplace sexual harassment. Now, we've been running this program in conjunction with the Lioness Agency for some time now, and the idea behind it is that stories matter, very simply, right? And I was doing a video about this yesterday. Somebody asked a question on the channel about how to get out of their NDA. And it reminded me that I hadn't posted about this program we run in literally years. I think we've been running it for years now. But here's the deal. If you are the victim of workplace discrimination or workplace sexual harassment and you have questions about your NDA, your non-disclosure agreement, we will review that NDA for you, working with local counsel, wherever you might be, free of charge, and have discussions with you about your options in terms of getting out of the NDA, about the risks presented in the disclosures you wish to make, the way you want to speak out in the public view, and have both practical and legal discussions about the tactics going forward in terms of how you might be able to share your story. And you might say, why? Why does that matter? Why would you do that? Why do you run that program? So I got into this a little bit in the video yesterday. Human beings respond to stories. Human beings do not care about human beings in general without a story. And I can run around suing people for workplace discrimination and workplace sexual harassment all I want. And I do. It's how I make my living. But it's akin to playing a game of whack-a-mole. I'll sue you, I'll sue you, I'll sue you, I'll sue you. And you can smack hundreds, if not thousands, of bad actors down every year, right? There's just going to be more. There'll be a new crop next year. You didn't make better humans. You didn't fix the problem. You treated the symptom. You knocked around a few bad people, got some money for your clients, and that was really all you achieved. I believe, and I think agencies, groups like Linus might also believe this, that storytelling is actually the method by which we get humanity to care about this problem. And it's also the method by which we get bad actors to become less bad actors, right? They can read these stories and say, God, that was awful. I don't want to be that person. And they might then be better people. Right? So I think there's incredible value in sharing stories. And part of the issue with non-disclosure agreements, NDAs, is that they silence people who have been victimized and they can't share their story. And that is a problem for society. It's also a problem for the victim in many cases because they can't leverage the public eye, the court of public opinion, against the bad actor in a given situation. But also, it gives the victim less ability to control the narrative. And often narratives will be twisted against victims, but they won't be able to participate in the narrative or in controlling that narrative or crafting that public narrative because they're hampered by an NDA agreement, right? So it's good for society to hear these stories. It's good for the plaintiffs to hear these stories. And in the long run, it's good for the employers. It's very bad for the employers in the short run. It hurts them a great deal, potentially. But in the long run, these employers will have fewer cases because their employees will do fewer stupid things because these stories could potentially change society. So from my perspective, everybody benefits from these stories being out, and I want these stories out, and I understand that the average plaintiff probably can't hire an attorney to just review an NDA. They might be able to get an attorney to handle their workplace discrimination case, their workplace sexual harassment case. But if that's not something they're currently doing, or if it's not something they want to do, well, how are they going to get an attorney just to review the NDA for them, right? The attorneys can't take a percentage of reviewing an NDA. There's no money to be won. They're just reviewing the agreement and advising you. So generally speaking, they would charge on an hourly basis. But most plaintiffs would find that hourly basis to be incredibly expensive and perhaps even out of reach. So if it's something we can do for free, and we can, and we have been for years, then I think it's important that we do so. We're not like a registered charity for this purpose. We haven't done any of the paperwork. It's just, it's very simple. We're just doing it. We're happy to do it. And I wanted to make this video just reminding folks that this program exists. If you have somebody who's wrestling with NDA who wants to share her or his story and needs to have a conversation with an attorney about how they might go about doing that and what the risk of doing that is, don't hesitate. Send them this video. It's not about monetizing that person. It's not about getting new clients. This is specifically something where we just do this, no strings attached. The end. It's something we're trying to keep as simple as humanly possible. And I hope it helps someone. Take care, everyone.